Hello and welcome. You're watching The Social Network on NDTV 24/7. And over the last week, we've seen a lot of discussion about domestic violence on the internet in the wake of the Nigella Lawson pictures, which came up in newspapers and was discussed in a lot of details. But now, a new report by the WHO has shown how terrifying the statistics are in India as well. And it's not just domestic violence, but the consequences of domestic violence, how many of them can in fact lead to death. So that's the question we're asking today on The Social Network. The intimate enemies, the WHO report published in the Lancet journal, which very, very clearly talks about how India is among the highest statistics of percentages of women killed by those who they should be close to, they should be taken care of by, who they should love. Unfortunately, that is usually not the case. Joining us now, our guests with me in studio, Sunita Menon, the Director of Education and Training for Breakthrough. Also joining us, Kalpana Vishwanath, the member of Jagori. In Mumbai, we have Harish Sadani, the Secretary of Men Against Violence and Abuse, and Flavia Agnes, lawyer and women's rights activist. Let's start off with the statistics, all which we have been seeing here. Let's go over to you first, Sunita, and talk about what the information is like. Do you think, for one, the discourse of domestic violence doesn't exist, and that's why cases keep cropping up which never get talked about?
I think the WHO report, what it has come out, that 1 in 3 women face domestic violence, is nothing new for the people who are working in the field. This has always been a known case, and it's not just in India but across the world. Breakthrough, the organization I work with, we work both in India and the United States, and domestic violence is a rampant problem in both these countries. The reality is that even 1 in 3 is a grossly underreported crime, and there are very few people who actually go and report incidences of domestic violence. There are a whole lot of reasons why people don't actually report, from actually loving their husbands to not having systems in place where they can actually go and have a safe space to share about their incidences.
Right, so let's look at these statistics and throw this question over to Flavia Agnes in Mumbai. Flavia, what we're seeing here is that the numbers when it comes to the international data and the Indian data is not that different when it comes to domestic violence per se. The difference lies in the number of deaths which are caused due to partner attacks. Do you think that's because India lacks the systems whereby women can be protected after the first report comes in?
See, while the statistics themselves are not revealing or not new, what is of concern is for us in India from 1980, this domestic violence has been a major issue. First, what we used to call a dowry death, and then later domestic violence, intimate partner violence, various names. But today, after about 35 years, where have we progressed? Is there any measurable change that's happening either in people's attitude or in the resources available, etc.? The only thing we have been able to bring about is a law on domestic violence, but at the ground level, has the situation changed for women? And unless that is a major indicator that what kind of support systems should be there in place in order to control or curb domestic violence, not just say state facilities, but private facilities, NGO facilities, whatever. It is just what the NGOs are doing is a drop in the ocean. It's not making a difference. Legal interventions, shelter homes, nothing is making an intervention. And that's very disappointing and dejecting for people like me who has worked on this issue for 3.5 decades now.
So, of course, the question there is, if NGOs are not working, if the various systems that are being tried to put together is not working, then what will? Kalpana, do you think that the issue that needs to be looked at right now is changing the way people think? It's something we keep tossing around as a phrase, but is it a realistic possibility?
See, I think it's clear we have to do several things. I think there isn't one single solution. We need our systems to work. Unless the systems work, unless there's a way in which when a woman approaches the legal profession, when the woman approaches the police, she does not get support and redress, that is the basic level that we need change. Of course, we need much deeper change in the way that women are viewed, the way the extreme discrimination. We're talking about a society where the sex ratio is falling continuously, where women are undervalued, where girls are undervalued. So that change in what we are calling mindset or attitude needs to take place, but that is going to take time. And in the meanwhile, we cannot continue to have women battered and killed.
But
so that is where the
what we're seeing,
law is
Kalpana, is